Shizuka introduced dynamics between everyone. I'm assuming that's probably where we head from here. That's likely actually where we're gonna head exactly, which I'm excited to see just how she works into the fold with everybody else here, and how they kind of interact or treat her, care for her, and how we also manage now that we have up to 3, and how our main man here can actually, I don't know, navigate through this and get away from having any issues that could potentially come along with it. Feels a little too early to immediately introduce someone else. I think we have to go through the stage of, you know, how they all gonna interact and work with each other. So I'd assume probably another episode or 2 before we get to that. Sorry for this being so late, but whatever, we're here now. And hopefully we can get back on track with that. Very excited to see what they got in. Feel like I'll like and subscribe to mean a lot to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave any comments with this episode or series. Go on now with episode 4. And you will be added to that list. Yeah, I guess it's alright, yeah. Until she speaks. Damn, he's putting in the work. Well, I can't change that myself.
静香ちゃんは図書委員で本が大好きでチャームポイントは本を読んでる時のつま先。静香ちゃんのつま先は読んでるシーンの感じ方によって動きが変わるんだ。それが子犬の尻尾みたいっていうか、感情を隠しきれないところが愛おしくて。
Person paying attention.
口元に手をやる癖。熱中すると。
My man's really observant. Wow. Wow. But he likes this. It's okay. Not the others, just me though. When you what? はかりはちょっと唇尖らせてきたり、カネは必死すぎて息を止めてたりとかがもう最高に。そなたたち、よもや接吻を交わした中であろう。Yeah. Uh-oh, she needs to partake. Uh-oh. That's alright. Yes. No, no. Can never be. I feel like that's not gonna happen. Cool, we'll go at different paces. Everybody likes and wants different things. Oh, she's ready now. Let's go. Oh my god. Only white bro's gonna be fucking fat by the end of this. We're putting on the pounds. Now you guys keep fighting. He's gonna hang out with Shizuka more. Yeah, but this is a safe zone. You're a good man. The icebreakers. Yeah. Oh, not what I thought he was gonna do. Okay, this is more along the lines. Oh, well, maybe it's still not, but now they're all gonna try and lose. No. 恐るべき圧倒的作業芸ババ抜きワンカットもなく終了したビリからねビリとか信じらんない罰ゲームでも I couldn't possibly have wanted to lose 行くぞからね She's gonna get aggressive Brace yourself
ことしてるみたいになっちゃってるじゃんか。リリー、はかり。
They all have different like reactions of ways that they take it too.
本音と建前が入れ替わってるわよ。
Wow.
脱いでんのよ。禁止よ禁止。木の手がたくましい指が
Oh my god.
回っている。
It was a dream. Everything she could have ever wanted.
でも大丈夫なやつ？
やめてください。ごめんなさい。私くすぐりに弱くて。
Unless you admit it, unlike the other.
そうなの？
嬉しそうするところだった。セーフだな。セーフだよな。
3回戦目1位レンタロウ。
Look at
何
her.
が何でも俺に全員をこちょこちょさせようという実はちょっと楽しみなんだよな。
See what her
静
reaction
香ちゃ
would
んから
be.
どんな笑い声が聞けるのか。ちょこちょこちょ。
She still doesn't
こ
laugh.
ちょこちょこちょこちょ。
高らかに笑って。
想定してたのと別次元の何か。笑う時でもそれで。
She even laugh through that.
それが現実だったが一度も負けてない。
Nobody's gotten the opportunity to, yeah.
となると次は私がこちょこちょしたい。そして体を触りまくりたい。
Now we gotta win.
そのためには
ビリー、レンタロウ。
Shizuka wins, yeah.
1位静香。さあやってくれ静香ちゃん。何これ客にくすぐったいかも。
She never had friends or anyone. She doesn't know what she's doing.
ああいう奥手でいじらしいところに惹かれたのでは。
Should I be acting like this instead?
可愛い仕草で声を高めにレンタロウくんペペ
He doesn't even have a
ロ計算
voice.
され尽くした可愛さ守ってあげたくなる存在。
She does have that energy. Yeah. I could never be.
強敵が。
What are you cooking up back there?
ねえちょっと吉本。なんなの。
Oh no. Oh no. PTSD. Oh no.
遠慮してるわよ
Oh,
ね。
never mind.
そんなことは見てりゃわかんのよ。あんただけレンタロウに近づこうとしないじゃない。今のくすぐりだってもっと触りたいくせにつつくだけなんて。なんでそんなくだらないことしてんのよ。カラネさんが怖いからじゃないですか。そんな風にすぐ大きい声
If you did something that you shouldn't, you probably would have fucking hit her.
言うのよ。無自覚って怖い。
Never yelled once, man.
お二人は以前からレンタロウくんの恋人だった。
Hmm.
後から来た私が邪魔をしてはいけないと言わずにうじうじしてるようなやつ見てると、誰よりも素直に自分の気持ちを伝えられないあなたがそれを言いますか。うるさいわね。さっきから喧嘩売ってんのあんたは。
Ah.
そうですよね。本当は私怖くてたまらないのです。私って本当にそんなに怖いの？意外と
The situation, not you, not you.
そういった意味ではなかった。その凛とした立ち振る舞い。 同等の振る舞いをすることでレンタロウくんから比べられてしまうことが何よりも怖い。
The fear of not being able to offer anything, yeah. In comparison to what he already has.
落差が浮き彫りになる。
But he chose for you to
いやあんた
be.
だって可愛いんじゃないの？
I guess, yeah.
ちっちゃいのもおとなしいのもすることはありません。カラネさんはいつもイライラしてますから。
She's always like this. You're right. You gotta learn about her.
私たちには計り知れないほど愛情深い方なんです。
It does,
あなたの素敵
actually.
なところを10も20も知っていますよ。
I mean, look how long he spent fucking getting this thing on his app to work.
インナさん、花園さん、とにかく私が言いたいのは私たちに遠慮なんかすんじゃないってこと。
You're equals.
レンタロウにしてほしいことや言いたいことがあるならちゃんと本音を伝えること。いいわね。それでいいでしょ静香。
She's finally being accepted. Welcome to the team.
あかりさん、カラネさん、いかがかな。
So he left purposely to.
静香ちゃんを睨んでる。
Well, to be fair, she's glaring at everybody
わかんないけ
always.
ど喧嘩になる前に俺が中を取り持たないと。みんな
I knew I picked
お
right.
待たせ。なんで？
So that she can win and we can actually let her not do that.
入
Yeah.
るわけないでしょ。もう一回レンタロウに静香がこちょこちょよ。そうですよ。ね、もう一回こちょこちょしたいですよね、静香さん。私したいです。
Huh? Wow. After what happened earlier?
血を守るべしと神に定められし宿命というのは実は偽りであった。
I was just nervous.
分かってたから。
その本心ではあなたと口づけを交わしたいと。
And now we can be on equal footing to everybody else.
ごく嬉しい。
But it's probably gonna be hard to just do it in front of all of them, and then them just watch and be okay with it. You're probably gonna have to do all of them. Snip one head back.
ごめん、つい可愛すぎて。
Nice. Show what you want. There you go. It's that courage that we needed.
静香ちゃん。
Let's go. We 3 for 3, baby.
あれ静香ちゃん大丈夫聞こえてる俺見えてる静香ちゃん
静香さんにあんなにはっきり本音を言わせたんですから、カラネさんも本音を言わなくちゃダメですよね。
Huh?
何がよ、別に。
Yeah, she always speaks her mind, huh?
じゃあレンタロウくん、私もレン
Yeah,
タロウ
leave her in the
君とキ
dust.
スしたいです。大丈夫ですか？
Yeah, you're fine.
私の可愛さは静香さんに負けていませんか？
The good thing about having such a wide variety of girlfriends is, you know, there's always somebody who has things that you don't, and you always have things that the others don't.
からね。
No, she has to speak up. Make her speak
あなたが
up.
どうしてもって言うなら私もしてあげないことも。
No, I'm good, dude. I'm good. Turn it out. Turn it out.
しっかりキスポジじゃ
ないけどね。
可愛いな。
Absolutely.
何よ急に。
カラネは照れてる顔がすっごく可愛い。
So like all the time.
このバカ。
どうしてもしたい。
But I can't unless you say that you want to.
カラネは
Yeah. You're killing her. You're killing her. W bands. Oh my god.
何幸せでいいのかなって。3人とも本当にありがとう。
そんなの私たちのセリフでした。
交尾の大渋滞だ。
You're all so unique. Lovely. And they all get along so great. First obstacle overcome. We take a simplistic, straightforward, but necessary step, I would say, progressing this plot, which is perfect, I guess, for what they're attempting to do. We take somebody who is more reserved and shy and struggles to, I guess, voice their own opinions or feel worthy of, you know, the position that they're in or the position that they can be in, or be worthy of just being around other people or whatever they want to feel with Shizuka and her entire situation, right? And then we put her and throw her into the situation where now she has these two other girls that she's going to have to constantly compare herself to in a way. She's going to have to compete against, and it's not a good thing, right? You don't want to be in a position like that. But on the other side, it forces the other two girls to also compare themselves to her in certain things. Anyways, all that to say, we're putting somebody who struggles to kind of speak their mind in a way, or be okay with speaking their mind because she doesn't feel deserving of these things, to have to speak it. These other girls forcing and pushing that upon her to ultimately make that happen and allow all these people to feel comfortable enough that they can feel that they can speak up and not have to hide who they really are or their intentions or any of this stuff when they're around each other, and allow it all to perfectly flow and work. And it comes off really good, which I think is a great way for them to do it. It's the transition episode, basically. It's the transition into, we have established, or we've gotten number 3. Now we need to make all of them kind of make this work, right? And we need to make the dynamic between them work and make sure that they're okay with it, because the initial 2, I mean, they've had their issues at the beginning, but we had to work through those. And then after we got that, you know, you're so comfortable for however long, when you introduce something else or some other obstacle comes in the way and there's some sort of change, there's big problems that can kind of come out of that. So with Shizuka being involved now, I think it's a good way for them to transition us in to do this. And then it all happens within one scenario for the most part. The entirety of the episodes is forced around that one scenario, which I think is great. I think it's also just excellent that Rentaro realized the situation that all of them were kind of in and how that they each may have felt, because he's very observant and realizes exactly, you know, all the things about them, how they act, personalities, just the way that they might feel or think with things. And while I hope that we go down like lines at some point where like he maybe will not, you know, pick up perfectly on the way that they're thinking. It doesn't have to, because I guess the way that they're building this up, it doesn't necessarily seem like we will. But if we do go down something like that, it would be great to see him put himself in a situation where maybe he is also struggling to openly or effectively communicate himself in the way that he feels or the way he thinks about these certain situations and stuff to others without being able to be so open, I guess. But that doesn't actually even have to happen. Regardless, he's trying to make his best effort due to all these things that he's able to see in this knowledge and stuff that he's able to get by observing all of them, to bring them closer and bring them all together, make sure that they're all in a safe space, essentially. And it works out excellently, able to just leave, be like, I gotta go to the bathroom, even though he realized immediately that there was something off and somebody may have been restraining themselves or may have a problem because somebody else was restraining themselves, as we ended up seeing. And he just kind of let them all work it out. He had enough trust and ability in them to understand that they don't all act completely selfish, and while some of them are at certain times that they'll be able to kind of work things out if they talk it out. You know, everybody will be able to get down to the root cause of why they're acting or what their issues are with the other person or whatever it is, and all of them have such a great like distinction, I guess, between them, that it's pretty obvious, or pretty obvious to him at least, that if he leaves them to this, one of them will at least openly speak their mind about these certain situations. Which, like, it's weird too that Karna's the one who openly is okay with it, because of how difficult it is for her to openly like express her own thoughts and stuff, and not have to kind of go as extremely roundabout with everything. So it's funny that she's also the one who's there, but I guess it makes sense because she is the aggressor in most of these situations. So, but it's just funny that she's the one who definitely has to bring attention to that. I love how he's already, you know, worked on volume 2 and he's working volume 3 is in the works, and he's adding like their own names and everything to all these the books that she's able to use here, which I think is great. It just shows you the extent that he's willing to go and the effort that he's willing to put in, and it's kind of fucking crazy. Also, him just pointing out the different like expressions and things that he realized, and they're not even things like he would notice like because of her face or like whatever that she's making, right? It's him looking at her and being like, dude, you like your feet, like you move your legs, you do certain things like this. That's why in a lot of things, being able to frame and actually use like legs or use feet or body, like the posture or movement or something like that, is so like key a lot of the times, because it can be so telling as to a way that a person is like trying to express themselves or they're thinking or they're feeling or things, despite the things that they're saying. So getting a lot of focus on different things like this and showing a lot of different shots like this, in certain, especially in things that are a bit more serious, I guess, it can be very crucial to have somebody who can actually like utilize that to a great extent, where I feel like a lot of times they might not, because so many times like directors and stuff are trying to worry about doing things that are so abstract in a way or so different or unique, and while some of them are just trying to nail the point across like straightforward and not have to go too much into it. So when you start, you know, doing some weird things and framing things in ways where you're only looking at like feet or legs, or like looking at the way that people walk or move or whatever, or maybe like the way that they sway their arms or they're doing things, and you can pick up on like little like cues and things about people, which Rentaro is able to do here. But I'm just saying, like, they're things that aren't explicitly like stated in a lot of other shows and things that happen. So if you're actually paying attention, you can kind of pick up on those things a lot earlier and cue into them. And that's something that he notices here, especially about her, is he can kind of pick up on different expressions or how she's feeling and what like kind of part she's on or what she's like looking at like within a story that she's reading due to that. And he's able to pick that up on all the other girls, especially, you know what I mean, like the way that she acts with her lips, right, the way that she moves her hair, just different things that he's able to pick up on, these different tells that they have. The feeding is fun, of course. I love that we just constantly shove things down him. I'm still feeling it. I was like, we gotta get the fat episode in, right? They put it in the OP, we gotta get the episode. After he gets all of them, I think it'll be great. The businessmen fighting each other and, you know, overcoming the things that there's no more I don't know the right word, but like social things like in the way that are like kind of blocking them, because everything's kind of exposed or open to them after they have this long battle. Everything works out perfect, which is great. And then we end up playing Old Maid, which is a way for us to kind of openly be able to see sides and things of people, and actually create some sort of physical contact and a whole bunch of other things that won't be as weird or seen as weird at some point in the future, because we can all become kind of open in some sort of way. So we immediately start off things, they go well. Everybody has their different ways and reactions and how they want to, or how they end up acting as a result of it. And then ultimately hers is funny as hell. The fact that she can't actually laugh, or she does, like she opens her mouth and like you can see her body moving, but nothing comes out. So she just presses the thing. I think is fantastic. Ultimately though, they all decide that they need to actually win so that they have the opportunity to do this here, where Shizuka instead just starts taking a poke at him. My initial thought was just she never had like anybody that she was able to be like close with or do things like this with, so she didn't really know what she was doing, and she just figured that this was like an okay thing, but it just seems like she was trying to restrain herself as we kind of develop a little bit later on. Of course, this is the moment as well when they're like seeing that everybody else is like noticing things that maybe Rentaro likes about her a lot more, that maybe that they're missing or that they don't have, and then they start feeling a little weird, and then specifically Karane in this situation gets really annoyed because she realizes in that exact moment this girl is holding herself back and she's restricting herself, and she's not actually, it's almost disrespectful to her to see something that she wants and something that she could do, and then somebody else get that opportunity and then completely like not do it properly and do it wrong and ruin it, a chance that she could have had, right? And it's like disrespectful in her, like that she has this opportunity to do this thing, and she just chooses to not, which is like absolutely, I mean, I get that completely actually. So her acting out in the way that she does makes plenty of sense to me. And then we have our whole moment here where we start kind of just yelling at each other, where Shizuka ultimately comes out and she realizes that she feels a little bit too plain being around them, right? She doesn't want to assert the things that she wants and her own desires in a way, because she feels that she's almost not worthy, or she's not needed in those same sort of situations, whether it's the thing they talked about with like the kiss or the tickling or whatever it is, just because he's or because these other girls are so different, or so they offer so many more things in her eyes as compared to her. So what's the point of having somebody like me around, or what's the point of having somebody like me actually go out of my way and do those things? We'll reserve them for somebody that he would much rather have it from, right? And her just kind of feeling bad and not understanding the positives and the good things that maybe Rentaro or even others can actually see in her. Karane being able to openly express that here and be like, this is the things that he probably sees, this is what we end up seeing. Well, Hakury comes out of her way and it's like, well, she's always pissed off, so don't get too worried about her being mean or any of that. And I just love the way that they can kind of attack each other or come at each other for certain things here, which is great. And then ultimately Rentaro just kind of reveals that he's been watching a little bit and he understands the whole situation. He's just glad that they're all getting along and understanding that none of them are kind of picking on each other. I also thought that when we were yelling at Shizuka, we were going to be like triggering some stuff of her getting like bullied and yelled at by these other girls over time, but instead it wasn't. It was the opposite almost. So I think that was pretty cool. And then I love the end here where we basically give her the opportunity to get exactly what she wants and express her own desire for what she wants, and we get number 3 down, which is great. It turns into everybody else getting one too, which I love. And then this moment too of not being able to openly express ourselves and actually stay what we want while telling other people that they need to do that, but then she kind of slides a little bit more into position and he's like, dude, what are you doing? So he has to go a different way, especially with Karane, someone like that, and force her almost to open up and actually express herself and not hide it the way that she always does, and not be the tsundere in which she is, right? Which I think is great. But this is the thing. This is why I say that she's the best so far, right? It's these types of reactions, right? It's these types of like not being able to be honest with yourself, but at the same time, like the body movements and the way that you're doing, like what verbally comes out is completely different from like how you're actually acting and what you're doing. And then you can just kind of tell and read into the person because she struggles with that. So him overcoming that with her in a way and kind of trying to force her into these roles and tell her, you got to do these things, you got to be more and actually get her to speak her mind and actually say the thing that she wants, makes it all the better, and has a great moment for us to end that. I love all their faces afterwards too, and things go perfectly basically, and we move forward, which I'm assuming we could play around again, but it almost seems too perfect to not just introduce another girl next time. Like it just almost seems too perfect in that, but we could play around because we were in one set location, so we could make things a little bit more fun and kind of maneuver a little bit with what we're doing or whatever we're setting up as our next like main joke that we're going to kind of go into. So I'd be curious, I guess, if they decide to just introduce somebody immediately next time or not. But yeah, I'm excited to see what comes. Very much enjoyed again. The show's been doing great, and I'm enjoying it a lot. If you liked it, I'll like and subscribe. Doing a lot to me. Feel free to check out the other videos on the channel. Let me comments about this episode of series. I will be back for episode 5, hopefully very soon. You guys have a good one though. Peace.